This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Tuesday, October the 30th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the Mayor Motley-led administration has given its blessing to the $1.21 billion purchase of a 75% stake in the Barbadian Sol Group by a Canadian-based firm. However, Minister of Energy and Water Resources Wilfred Abrams tells Barbados Today the parties still require the approval of local regulator, the Fair Trading Commission, to conclude the transaction.
The Ministry of Energy and Water Resources is aware that the Sol Group and Portland Fuels Corporation have recently announced a business combination agreement. It is understood that this transaction includes the combination of the Sol Group's businesses and operations in the 23 territories in which the group operates with Portland Fuels Corporation. It is also understood that Portland Fuels Corporation is one of Canada's largest and a growing independent supplier and marketer of fuel and petroleum products, as well as a leading convenience store operator. While the ministry welcomes investment in the energy sector from diverse players, this transaction is subject to the approval of the Fair Trading Commission, which by law has jurisdiction in this undertaking.
The Barbados Labour Party has started the process of selecting a new candidate to replace St. Michael West Parliamentary Representative Bishop Joseph Atherley, who convincingly won the seat in the May 24th general election on a BLP ticket, but later resigned to become the opposition leader. Over the weekend, the party, at its 80th annual conference at the Lodge School in St. John, gave the political leader, Prime Minister Mayor Motley, the go-ahead to select a candidate for that constituency. When contacted, President of the branch, John Bancroft, said, while a new candidate has not yet been chosen, the process has started. There has been mixed reactions to the news from constituents, some saying they would support any BLP candidate, while others straddle between support for Atherley and having no interest in backing any party whatsoever. Meanwhile, President of the Democratic Labour Party, Verlo de Pisa, says Barbadians are now fearful of the country's future. De Pisa relating her comments to the current economic challenges in Barbados and mentions the ruling Barbados Labour Party has put in place to counter them. She was addressing party members at a joint meeting of its St. Philip branches over the weekend.
Right now, Barbadians are having a serious conversation with themselves. They were asked to watch, but what they have seen so far has to be causing them trepidation. What has happened since May? I don't agree that nothing has happened. A lot has happened since May, with the fury of a whirlwind. Since May, you have more taxes to pay. To rush a program in 4 years, we are not fooled by the timetable, and we know what happens every 5 years. But to rush an economic program of this magnitude in a 4-year period is to completely ignore the people factor.
The island's largest public sector trade union is meeting with its retrenched members tomorrow morning as it complains that the Civil Service Ministry has thrown the job cuts exercise into uncertainty and confusion. Assistant General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Wayne Wardron, said the union will be seeking further consultations with the head of the civil service to get clarity on some concerns, noting that the goalpost keeps moving all the time on the exact number of workers being terminated and those who should not be sent home.
We can see a further audience with civil service, I can't end here because obviously, as you say, you get certain information, but then there are further developments that suggest that you need further information as the goalposts keep shifting. So you're hearing 800 plus, you're hearing 9. You're hearing 15 for between the public sector and the boards. Now you're hearing only 15 for public service. Then further in, it may be a total of 25. So there's uncertainty with the exact information. So we will got to insist on further dialogue with the civil service to get up-to-date information, understanding the process and the analysis.
There's regional and international news after this short break. Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Thousands of Antiguans have been flooding onto a visiting Chinese hospital ship, the Art Peace, for medical attention. During the week-long stay, more than a dozen minor surgeries were also done. ABS's News' Jamie J. Roche reports.
Chinese music breaks the silence at the Navy Street Pier as hospital ship Art Peace prepares for its departure. The ship's captain greets officials and a large group of Chinese nationals living in Antigua. Chinese Ambassador Wang Ziemin believes the ship's week-long visit has strengthened bilateral relations between Antigua and Barbuda and the People's Republic of China. The ambassador reveals nearly 4,000 people visited the ship for medical examinations and consultations, and 16 minor surgeries were performed.
And on the international scene, the United States says it's sending over 5,200 troops to help secure the border with Mexico, a far larger than expected deployment as President Donald Trump hardens his stance on immigration ahead of the November 6th midterm elections. We pick up the story in this Reuters television report.
The Pentagon says that more than 5,200 U.S. troops will be sent to the U.S.-Mexico border to prevent Central American migrants from reaching the United States. It's a dramatic increase over the 800 to 1,000 troops initially forecast.
The specific request for assistance is for the active duty military to enhance the capacity and capabilities of CBP by providing robust military capabilities.
Reporter Phil Stewart is on the story.
It includes pilots who will be transporting Customs and Border Protection personnel to different locations. It includes all kinds of support personnel that will be doing really support roles along this border. And now we'll have a force that is equivalent in size, although not kind of the same composition as the U.S. forces in Iraq.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.